But that's a long time. And so there's this expectation, even in our flesh, that says, you should know this by now. Or you should understand this concept by now. Or you should be so grown in this that you're really good at it, right? And so our flesh can really become our enemy. Because then we try to tell ourselves that we should know this, and so then our hearts aren't open to being taught, right? Because if we don't have the opportunity to understand and learn, then that means our hearts aren't teachable. We don't have a teachable heart. We don't have a spirit that's willing to grow and learn, and that continuously keeps us in places of immaturity. And what I found in my own life is that it confronts our hearts, right? So we have this opportunity where God confronts our hearts and he says, this is what I see in your heart. That moment is where I can say, no, you don't. Or I can say, oh my gosh, do you really? That's horrible. I can't believe that you see that in my heart. I'm so ashamed, which is our fleshly inclination, right? As Adam in the garden. Or I can say, I didn't see that before, but I see it now. Teach me your ways. Teach me your ways, Lord. And so that's not an A to Z moment in our lives, right? That's something that we have to get to and grow into, because it's very hard to think that you should know something and you don't know it. So we judge ourselves. I know I judge myself. And so in those places of judgment, I harden my heart. And when I harden my heart, then I begin to become something that I have found has kept me stuck in my life over and over and over again. Disappointed. When we're disappointed with the way that God's conversation goes with us, we respond in very different ways. So if we're disappointed in God confronting our hearts, the next thing that generally happens, I'll speak for myself, is that I'm disappointed, and then my heart starts to get bitter. Because my heart starts to go, but I thought, I should be here by now. But why don't I know this? I can't believe. So then there's this bitterness of, God, why would you expose this to my heart? I thought I was doing this, or I thought I was doing a good job, or I was being a good Christian. And then I get to the next place, because after disappointment comes bitterness, and after bitterness always comes sin. So then I sin against God in many ways by just removing myself from his presence. By, again, hiding myself like Adam and Eve in the garden, right? And trying to clothe my own self with my own strength, instead of God, giving God the opportunity to take off of me the things that are not him and put on me, clothe me with himself.